6 months after my husband died, I saw him again, standing beside a pile of oranges at a crowded street market, arguing gently with a vendor over the price. I froze, not because he looked like my husband, because he was my husband, same crooked smile, same scar near his eyebrow, same nervous habit of rubbing his thumb against his ring finger. Even though the ring was gone, grief does strange things to the mind, people say. But grief doesn't make your heart slam into your ribs like that. Grief doesn't steal the air from your lungs. I followed him. 6 months earlier, I had buried the love of my life, 32 years old. A sudden accident, a closed casket, 1,000 unanswered questions. I had learned how to wake up alone, how to drink coffee without him teasing me for adding too much sugar, how to survive nights that felt longer than entire years. I wasn't living, I was enduring. So when I followed him through the narrow streets, past a row of faded houses and into a quiet neighborhood, my legs were shaking, not from fear, but from hope I didn't want to believe in. He stopped in front of a small, worn-down house, knocked twice, the door opened, a little girl ran out and hugged his legs. He bent down, lifted her, and laughed. That laugh broke me. I stood across the street, hidden behind a parked car, tears streaming down my face. This wasn't a ghost. This wasn't a stranger. This was a man alive in a way I had mourned every day. When the door closed, I finally crossed the street and knocked. My hand trembled so badly I almost dropped to my knees. The door opened slowly. He looked at me, and his smile faded into confusion. "Can I help you?" he asked. That voice, the voice that once whispered my name in the dark. "I'm sorry," I said, my throat tight. "You look exactly like someone I loved." He hesitated, then stepped aside. "You should come in." Inside, the house was simple, clean but clearly struggling. The little girl peeked at me from behind the couch. An older woman sat at the table watching us carefully. My husband, or the man who looked like him, offered me water. His hand shook. "My name is Daniel," he said, "but people have told me before I resemble someone else." I swallowed. My husband's name was Daniel too. The room went quiet. That's when the older woman sighed and spoke. "It's time," she said softly. "She deserves to know." And then the truth unfolded, not all at once, but piece by painful piece. Daniel had been in an accident, the same one I thought had killed my husband, but he survived. Barely. Severe head trauma, memory loss, no identification, no phone. He woke up weeks later in another city, with no memory of who he was or where he belonged. The hospital discharged him with nowhere to go. That older woman, she was a volunteer. She found him wandering near a shelter, confused, injured, and alone. She took him in, helped him heal, gave him work, gave him a purpose. Slowly, he built a new life, one rooted in survival, not memory. And the funeral, I whispered, mistaken identity. A man carrying my husband's ID had died that night. A tragic, cruel error that sealed my grief and erased my hope. Daniel stared at me, his eyes wet. "I don't remember you," he said, voice breaking, "but when I saw you just now, something hurt here." He pressed his hand to his chest, like my heart recognized you before my mind could. That was the moment I realized something devastating and beautiful at the same time. I had lost him once, and now I was being given the chance to love him again, without owning him. I didn't rush him. I didn't demand answers or memories. I simply showed up, brought groceries, helped the little girl with homework, sat with the older woman and listened to her stories. Kindness became our language. Weeks passed. Then months. One night, while washing dishes, Daniel suddenly froze. "You hate cilantro," he said quietly. I dropped the plate. "You always said it ruined everything," he continued, "and you snored when you were tired, but got mad if I mentioned it." I turned to him, shaking. Tears filled his eyes. "I remember you. We didn't fall into each other's arms like in the movies. We cried, we laughed, we mourned the lost time, and we honored the people who carried him when I couldn't." That little girl, she wasn't his daughter by blood. She was a child no one wanted, and he chose her. That older woman, she didn't save him because she expected anything back. She saved him because kindness still matters. And standing there in that small kitchen, I realized something that changed me forever. Love doesn't always return the way we expect it to. Sometimes it comes back reshaped, humbled, deeper. Grief taught me how to survive. Kindness taught me how to live again. And if there's one thing this journey reminded me of, it's this. Even in a world full of loss and confusion, compassion still finds a way home.